I'm ChelseaRose. I'm here at the Greenville Zoo, and I'm going to interview Dr. Heather Miller, the Green veterinarian. Hi, I'm ChelseaRose, and I'm here with Dr. Heather Miller. Thank you for letting me interview you.
You're welcome.
My first question is, how do you like working at the zoo?
I love working at the zoo. It has always been my goal to be a veterinarian at a zoo, and so I was lucky enough to be asked to work here full-time about 3 years ago.
So, did you have any other jobs before you worked at the zoo?
I did. I was in mixed animal practice down in Simpsonville at Cleveland Park Animal Hospital down there, and I did that for about 4 years. During that time, I worked part-time at the zoo. I would just come in 1 day a week and see animals and help them out during that time.
So, how do you like working with animals?
I love animals, and I've always loved animals. I've had pets my entire life, so I enjoy animals and medicine, and I just thought that being a veterinarian was the perfect way to merge the two.
So, what is the highlight of your job?
The highlight of my job? I would say the fact that no 2 days are the same. Something different is always going on, and that's what I enjoy the most. I don't have to sit behind a desk all day. I get to go out in the zoo. I'll get to be in the clinic and help any animals that are sick, or if we're doing yearly physicals on them. So it's always exciting, and it's never the same.
So, what do you see the zoo doing in the next 5, 10, and 20 years?
That's a good one. I like that one. We actually have just finished, or we're at the tail end of a master planning process, and we're calling it a 15 to 20 year master plan. So in the first 5 years, I would hope that we can have started phase 1. And our phase 1 would revamp our Asia area, so we'd be able to give the orangutans a bigger enclosure. We would also be able to bring in tigers, which would be exciting. And it also gives us a new ticket booth and a new kind of gift shop and restaurant. So a lot of exciting things. So that's what I would say for 5 years. 10 years, and all of this is master plan related because that's what we're doing right now. 10 years, we'd hope for phase 2, which we've planned a tropical house. So a big 3-story building tropical house. So that'd be exciting. And then 20 years, I would hope that we'd be finished with the master plan and I could still be here and enjoy all of the new animals and new exhibits that we would have.
So, what is one thing you would like to change about Greenville?
I was trying to think of an answer to that question because honestly, I cannot think of anything I would like to change about Greenville other than traffic on the 385. Other than the traffic, I think Greenville is a phenomenal city, and we moved back here after vet school because I enjoyed it so much. My family is here, and when my husband and I were thinking about where do we want to live now, we both finished college, we finished, specialized degrees, we said we wanted to come back to Greenville.
So, which animal do you like working the best with, and why?
My favorite animal is Selma. She is a spider monkey. She's 38 years old, and I absolutely love her because she doesn't hold a grudge. So she's had to have a couple of surgeries with me, and it's like she knows that we were trying to help her. So she still likes me and she still talks to me, even though she's had to see me several times over the last 5 years.
So, a spider monkey is a monkey.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, do you know why it's named spider monkey?
Yeah, they're called spider monkeys because they have a prehensile tail, so it actually moves like a finger. It's really cool. The end of their tail is like a finger, and they have different tail prints. Every monkey has a different tail print, so it's identifiable just like a finger. It's really cool. And when they move, it looks like they have 5 limbs because they get their arms going, they get their feet going, and their tail going. So they kind of look like spiders when they're going through the trees. Yeah.
So what and when do the animals eat?
And most animals eat twice a day. Some are fed once a day, but most of them eat in the morning, and then they eat in the evening before the keepers go home and we close up for the night. We actually have an entire kitchen here at the zoo, and we have a walk-in cooler. A lot of the animals eat what they call a formulated diet. So it's kind of like you'll buy dog or cat food at the grocery store. You can actually buy primate food, and some of the monkeys eat high fiber, some eat high protein. So it depends on what species you're feeding too. But we buy food from large zoo food companies. Missouri's one of them, Marion is one of them. So almost all of our animals have kind of a base formulated diet, and then they get produce, which we have that is food grade. All of our produce here, people can eat. I mean, it's the same. It's from Aldridge Produce Company. We get deliveries once a week. So what the elephants eat is the same thing that you'll find in the grocery store. So we have produce and we have other enrichment items that the animals enjoy. Sometimes it'll be bugs. Sometimes it'll be bread. You never know. It depends on the species.
So how many animals do you like working with?
We have approximately 250 animals here, and I work with all of them.
So, if you had a chance for a second job, would you take it? What would it be and why?
That is an easy one. No, I wouldn't.
Why?
I enjoy my job. Why? Mainly because I'm here a fair amount, but when I'm not here, I get to spend time with my family. And I have a wonderful husband and 3 kids, so I like to spend time with them if I'm not at work.
So is there a funny story that stands out from your job?
I thought of 2. One is how we got our black rat snake in our education building. And he's actually a really nice snake, which is why we decided to keep him. But he was unfortunate enough to be down in our farmyard after the keepers had put out some dummy eggs for our ducks. So birds will often lay eggs in the right season, you know, if it's spring or winter, it depends on the species. And then they will keep laying eggs until they have a full nest. So if you don't want babies, you can take the eggs out, but a lot of times the birds will be like, okay, now my nest is empty, I need to lay more eggs. So we'll use dummy eggs, which are wooden eggs, to make the birds think, oh, I still have a full nest, so I'm not going to lay any more eggs. Well, this snake had the unfortunate experience of going down there when there were dummy eggs in the nest, and he is apparently not a very bright snake, and he ate one of the dummy eggs. So I was called in, and I was called in because this snake had a lump, and the keepers weren't quite sure what it could be, but they had an idea, and they were right. So he had eaten one of the wooden eggs, and we had to take him to surgery and remove the wooden egg. And then on recovery, after we'd had him in the clinic for a while, they found out that he actually had a pretty good personality, and so they made the decision to use him for education programs. And he is up there. He's been here for about 5 years now. So his name is Ego.
Ego.
Yes. Yeah, from the story. My other funny story, I printed out a picture that I'll show you, is, this one's not medical, but this is about a year ago. We were having some issues down in the veterinary clinic. It's an old building, you know, it's got some old wiring and old light fixtures and that sort of thing. And at this point in time, our lights were flickering a lot. It started all of a sudden, and we would be doing a procedure, and our lights would flicker on and off, and we weren't sure what it was. So we called building maintenance and some of our public works guys, asked them to come over and take a look, because our maintenance guys, they couldn't find anything wrong. So they came over, they looked at our lights, and they said, well, you need all new bulbs. And so we put all new bulbs in. And then the next week, the lights would still flicker. And now this week, sometimes the lights would just go off completely for no reason, and we'd have to go to the light switch, turn it off and turn it back on for the lights to come back on. So we had them come out again, and they said, we can't find anything wrong. They've checked everything, and then they changed a ballast and a light. So I think they came out a total of 3 times. And then we found, when I was down there cleaning up from some of the animals in the morning, I actually found out what was happening, and I think this picture kind of says it all.
Oh. I can see the monkey turning off the light switch.
So that was Stewie, and we call him the clinic ghost now, because my technician was convinced that we just had ghosts in our clinic, but it was Stewie. He was doing it.
Thank you for letting me interview you.
You're welcome.
ChelseaRose, did you want to ask her about Kiko?
Can you tell me some information about Kiko?
Kiko is our famous baby giraffe. He is now almost 4 months old, because he was born October 22nd. So he's almost 4 months old. He is between 7.5 feet tall and getting close to 8 feet tall. He's doing great. He's thriving. He seems to really enjoy being here, and he seems very curious at all the visitors. I have to laugh whenever he stares at the visitors, and he'll walk out in the morning on exhibit and just walk out there and be like, I've come to see my fans, and he'll just stare at them.
Actually,
it's
well,
very
my
cute.
baby brother, PJ, he dressed up as Kiko for Halloween.
Oh, did he? Oh, good.
So
That's
he was
good.
a cute little giraffe like Kiko.
Oh.
Perfect.
Well, thank you for letting me interview you.
You're very
Bye.
welcome.
Dr. Miller is an important part of the community because she takes care of all of the animals in the Greenville Zoo so we can learn about them. Bye!